The other day after one of my yoga classes, a member came up to me and said, "I'm confused. I didn't think yoga was to be as difficult as I'm finding it. I don't understand. I thought I would come in and sure there would be some stretching, maybe some, om, maybe some reading, but I'm really finding that this is much more physically challenging to me than I anticipated." I've had this comment given to me before as a yoga guide, and it's made me reflect as an integrative wellness strategist, what is it in that person's mind and their experience that maybe I could help them draw some parallels to or thread together some encouragement so that when they get on the mat, they can take it off the mat and into their daily life. What I have decided is it's all about relationship. The relationship that we have with ourselves when we enter the room, the judgments, competition, expectation, it's hard to let those things go. So as we relate to yoga, relationships, living longer, I find it fascinating and really would like to share with you some of my own personal reflections that you may be able to cultivate a deeper awareness in your life. So let's begin. First, yoga is a physical practice. There is nothing wrong and really should be encouraged to get a mat, get down on the floor and allow your body the expression that's just awaiting you. As we live longer, because we live longer from the day we were born, right? Our bodies move without being told. We breathe without being told. And our heart thankfully expresses love within us without actually being told. But what is our relationship with our bodies? On the mat, during a yoga practice, whatever style you choose to follow, whether it be hot yoga, yoga flow, hatha, vinyasana, gentle, chair, it doesn't make a bit of difference. The style of yoga you practice is the style of yoga that is right for you. It's all about nurturing you. And isn't that where the root of relationships begin? Relationships that are nourishing bring us that love, that support, finding our highest purpose so that we can live the life of our dreams. Well, being on a yoga mat allows us the opportunity to stretch the muscular frame, to bring ease to aching joints, to assist in weight management, strength building, lessen anxiety and tensions, lessen depression and loneliness, and really cultivate love that is originally propagated from inside our wonderfully strong bodies. So when a member comes to me and says, "I'm finding the practice of yoga to be really hard," well, we start on the physical side of exploration. So we're on our bodies, we're moving our own mass. We don't naturally do that. We're asking to align structurally to the individual physique that our body has. We don't naturally do that either. Just think about it when you sit in the car and you kind of are slouched down. Maybe if you took a nice deep long breath, inhale and out, and exhale at the stoplight, it would bring you some ease and enjoyment as you're on that morning commute. But we don't naturally do that. Or for me, I'll stand at my kitchen counter and notice my right leg has a tendency to hang back. That comes from years of conditioning as a professional baker. That was my stance, so it keeps my hips a little out of a line. I'd like you to take a piece of paper and a pen and just pause for just a moment and jot down the first 3 words that come to mind when you think about your relationship with your physical body. Okay, good. When you look at those words, are they positive towards yourself or are they critical of yourself? It's okay, whichever they are, they are. That's where you're at today. If they're positive words, that's super. How do you continue to sustain a joyful and develop an even richer and deeper relationship within your body? If they're self critical, what is that part on the body that you would like to have a conversation with? Get on a yoga mat, find a class, and let's begin. But once we start the physical process of a yoga practice, then I'd like us to really explore into the spiritual or the emotional side. This is where many of my members find themselves struggling. When they say the physical side is so difficult, it gives them some frustration, and they realize they're having a difficult time letting go of frustration within themselves. How about we shift that feeling to one of celebration and encouragement of, I may not be able to do what the instructor's doing, nor what the person on the mat next to me is doing, but I'm okay with that. I'm doing. And that is the foundation of that nurturing relationship. Letting go of external distractions, letting go of comparisons and judgments, but letting go of those unrealistic expectations that we have a tendency to regularly place on ourselves. The emotional side, the development and learning opportunity on that emotional side in a yoga practice is exceptional. That is really the depth of where we're able to take what we learn on the mat off of the mat and take it into our daily life. Not only cultivating a deeper relationship with ourselves because we've had this dialogue in time with intention on the mat, but we can take that confidence and exude that into the relationships that are most meaningful in our life. So as we go back to my member that says, I never thought yoga was so challenging or so hard. There's one word that we unlock to make it less difficult, and that is practicing with intention. Because when we bring the word intention into our lives, we're aware. We have developed this awareness within ourselves. So it's not that I'm going to intentionally clean my house or I'm going to intentionally go to the grocery store. Those are external task relationships. But it is that intentional time a yoga practice can bring to ourselves, an individual conversation with ourselves. We're able to open the gate, truly open the gateway to unconditional love and self-love to you. And that's where life all of a sudden can just become magnificent and exceptionally joyful in that moment, because it really is about that moment. So as we take our practice off of the mat and we take the word relationship with ourselves into our life, we're able to bring the true, authentic self into the relationships that are most meaningful in our day-to-day life. I'd like to shift now over into our day-to-day life as we relate to relationships. And I'm going to ask you to get your pen and paper again and ask you to reflect on, do you have perennial relationships or more seasonal relationships? So let's take a pause for a moment and write down under the word perennial any name that comes to mind. You can write as many as you want. And then the same under the word seasonal. Okay, great. So know how many you have on your paper. I know on mine, I seem to have a shorter list under perennial than I do on seasonal. So perennial relationships, they remind me of my garden on the herbs that will come up year after year, and they just get more robust, and I need to trim them back a little bit because they just get healthier and healthier and healthier as they grow. But perennial individual relationships with others are those relationships that weather the storms with us, that celebrate our successes with us, that help us when we are in a time of need, a time of joy, that they're encouraging us to be the best version of ourselves. Truly, throughout life, those people are very, very special. We hold them dear, and there's not just one season in life that we have them. As we live longer, from generation to generation, sometimes as we live longer, a new perennial relationship will come with someone that is much younger than us, bringing us some inspiration for us to continue on the adventure of our own life, or vice versa, right? Seasonal relationships are like the annuals I plant in the spring. My marigolds, my petunias, maybe snapdragons. I live in central Illinois, so those are very common seasonal flowers. I think that throughout our life, we engage in relationships in abundance of seasonal relationships. They may be the relationships in a new office space, new work culture, on a first job, or we've changed jobs. Our kids are in school, we meet parents of other children and other students, and we may only know them while our kids are in school. You might belong to one gym and then go to another gym, and you may not see that other person. So as we're interacting with others throughout our day, those are seasonal relationships. That's okay. If it's anything like, if you live anywhere like I live, I see everybody in the summer, we're out in our yards, then in the winter we have a tendency to go in. I have great neighbors, and I know I can call upon them, but because of the season, they're more seasonal neighbors. How about you? Have you ever thought about it that way? Well, the word intention, again, comes back into the word relationship. And our yoga practice brings our abilities with that intention to then apply intention into developing the relationships that we need to cultivate. And when we show up for our relationships, being our authentic self, bringing the energy that we love and accept ourselves for wherever we are in that moment. And I tell you, there are times we're going to open up and say, I'm not happy with where I'm at. That perennial relationship, they're going to help support you move on down that road. Even an interaction with a seasonal relationship can assist you to move on down the road of your life. But first, it begins with the relationship with ourselves. So as I end my blog today, I invite you to take a moment, once the video is over, to stay with your piece of paper. How would you define your relationship with yourself? Again, reflect on this. Journal on it. Pray about it. Share it with others. You choose, because to become the best version of yourself, it's your choice. You do. You have all of the gifts available right inside of you. Beginning with a loving, nurturing relationship with yourself. I believe in you. If you'd like to work with a coach, find a coach. If you'd like to talk with a support group, find a support group. Wherever you need assistance, it's there waiting for you. Have a great day. And I leave you with this thought. My wish for you is for you to be safe, for you to be happy, for you to be healthy, and for you to live with ease. Become the best version of yourself beginning right now.